Hello Bar Run Forge family, we are back with another Monday morning tool video, and today we're going to be doing the round punch. Our round punch is going to be done with a piece of coil spring. Coil spring is generally a 5160, it's a hardenable steel. This particular piece of coil spring is about 10 inches long, and that's generally what I work with for most of my struck tools, punches, chisels, things like that. And today we'll make the round punch. And the purpose of the round punch we'll kind of reveal after we get it done to show you kind of its use. We're going to be working in the coal forge today, and then we'll also have a biblical message to go along with the round punch. So stick around, enjoy the video. First things first, straighten the coil spring out and just use whatever you got. For us, we're going to use the Hardy hole, we'll use the Pritchell hole, whatever works. When straightening a piece out, just use whatever you got. I mean, if it's the Hardy hole in our case, the Pritchell hole, if it'll fit, hammer, whatever works. First thing we're going to do is make an octagon on this end. This will be the struck end, and that's the end we're going to start with. We'll make an octagon. And then we'll actually round the top just a little bit. Most of this will be rag and probably get hit by the grinder. Then we'll work our way down, find one of those edges, and put in the indexing of the handle and go from there. All right, we got it square. So let's take the corners down. We're increasing the angle on that. I'm going to try to make these all 8 sides even. Sometimes takes some work. All right, here we go, 8 sides. All right, so the challenge here is to find one of our edges, find one of those flats, and mimic that down the line here. We were off just a little bit, but that's mostly cosmetic. That's not really for any purpose. All right, so what we're going to do is take the working end down to a square, and then we'll begin the taper on it as well. All right, I have it basically down to the dimension that I want. We'll take it to octagon and round. I already have a thinner punch down at the base. This one's gonna be a little bit more robust, a little bit thicker. So now we take the edges down and work it into round. All right, now we'll begin the operation of rounding up this area. We've got a lot of the edges down, so now we can start working it to round. Let's do that one more time. So now what we're going to do is, because we're basically done with the forging part of this as far as moving metal, we will heat it up one more time, 2 times, do a normalizing cycle, then we'll do a little bit of touch up with the grinder, and then we'll do the heat treat. All right, we're going to take a grinder and flat disc, flatten this off, and then put a little bit of a crown to it, and that will help concentrate the blows down the center of the tool. Okay, on the working end, on the actual punch side of it, again, we'll flatten it off, clean this all up, and again, we'll put just a little bit of a point to this so that it centers when it punches through. All right, so with the struck end and the working end pretty much to where we want them, now we get to do the heat treating. We're going to do the heat treating, and then after we quench it to do the hardening, then we'll have to scuff this up again, and that way we can watch the colors run so we can also do the tempering. We're only going to quench about this much of the tool. And the reason being is this is coil spring, it's tough, and really there may not even be any reason to do this because it's going to be in hot work and it's going to lose its temper anyway. But we're going to go through the heat treating process. So how we got this set up is we're doing our heat treating through the coal fire. I've got a pretty good eyeball on the piece right now, and I'm trying to watch it so we don't burn it up, but I want to bring it up to critical temperature, and I want to bring it up slowly. What critical temperature is for us, it varies between metals, but it's pretty easy to figure out that once we get beyond magnetic or non-magnetic, we know that we are at least heat treatable in temperature. So I'm going to do that, watch it come up slowly, not overdo it, and when it comes time for us to quench it, I'll pull it out, make sure it's non-magnetic, put it back in quickly, let it come up in a rising temperature, and then quench it in the oil. And we're not going to quench the whole tool because we're going to let the struck end work our temper colors up towards the tip. First things first, we got to scuff it back up again. Starting to see some colors running up to the end, so we're just going to keep an eye on it. We want to get almost up to that peacock color up towards the tip, just past that darker straw color. The forging process is done. We have heat treated it. We have completed to the dimensions that we want it. The tip is where we want it. The struck end is where we want it. And just basically all we have to do now is put a finish to it. So we'll take since we don't have a belt grinder, we're going to take the ankle grinder with a flapper disc on it, clean all that up, make it nice and smooth so that it goes through the material cleanly. And then we'll probably use an air die grinder to kind of polish it up a little bit. And that's pretty much it. We'll be right back. The round punch is complete.